Let's go back. Let's come to quadrille because you've got it right there. And the idea, Noel Coward wrote a play that was called Quadrille, and it wasn't not the same play, but it had
not at all.
similar, and it was in '54 that play was written. Yours is set in 1830.
1835, yes.
But I wrote this down that there are some things that seem similar: disgruntled partners, class hierarchy, belated betrothals, elopement threats, and the letter.
Aha. You see, I've not read the plays.
That's what's so great about this, right? Is that in the movie world, there's a lot of titles that repeat. Not often in plays, but even then, in plays, sometimes they can because there's just so many, and there's so many playwrights we can't know them all, right? And even now, but why did you pick the title other than the idea of four?
Oh. Well, the idea of four, let's see, a quadrille is a card game, a quadrille is a dance. It just seemed...
The four characters, and you wanted your music hall or music box was a kind of a feel for it as well.
Originally, it was supposed to have a lot more music in it. It was actually a musical once upon a time, but then nothing really worked out because the composer who was absolutely wonderful, and I can't wait for him to continue. He was in a position in life where he couldn't continue with it. But so I just took it and I just reworked everything back into a straight play.
Where no songs but dialogue then.
Yeah, so I've tried to retain a musical quality to it. In fact, I've had a lot of people go, this would make a great musical. It's like, yes, it would.
Well, that's a curious thing there because pulling off a musical at community theater level is extremely complex.
It is, yes, absolutely. I have such admiration for anyone who can write their own music.
And Campbell, bless their heart, has had, 3 at least original musicals produced down here. It's phenomenal. Esperanza and Canyon Road with Gretchen Green and
I saw that.
Linda Gregg did Esperanza. And Jim Marr's Invisible Man. They did, and he has another musical that he's working on. Let's talk about the Campbell a little bit because it's starting to remind me more of the arena theater in Point Arena, where you can go see a film, a play, music, comedy. They have all kinds of things. They even have public an open mic, and that's a lot of musical, but I think they can have other things. They have improv, they have special nights for people to rent the theater.
Yep, I love the Campbell. It is a dear little jewel that people have yet to discover. In fact, we have people who live in Martinez who walk by and go, I didn't know there's a theater here. It's like, yep, there's a theater here.
It was an auto parts store prior to that. Why did you pick 1835? What attracts you to period pieces? The costumes?
Oh, well, of course. I absolutely love costumes. I definitely wanted a distinct look for this play. I guess I'm a fan of big hair and big sleeves. I don't know. But actually,
great musical.
Big hair and big sleeves. I can see it done in the city, definitely. But it was. I wanted to create a feeling. In fact, there are 2 movies that have precisely the feeling that I wanted to create with this play. One is Denny Kaye's Hans Christian Andersen.
Oh.
In fact, there's this one which incidentally takes place in the 1830s. That has the sort of fairy tale feeling that I wanted. And the other is the absolutely sweet film with Leslie Caron, The Glass Slipper.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, it is my favorite version of Cinderella ever.
Oh.
And it...
What year?
I don't know.
More or less. 30s, 40s?
No.
American movie.
Maybe. I actually
Don't know that.
Don't know, no. And I just remember seeing both when I was a little bitty girl, and they made quite the impression on me. Yeah, they just have the sort of fairy tale essence that I wanted to convey.
And that's sort of the essence of your writing too, isn't it not?
Oh yeah, I'm a fairy tale writer, definitely.
Yeah, you wouldn't write about cops in the street or...
No,
yeah.
well, unless they had wings.
Hey!
Which is a story, yeah,
right. These are the names of the movies that I am aware you're in. Scary Larry.
That one, I was supposed to have a larger role in that, but I couldn't get off work.
Okay, but we'll stick with the title, Scary Larry.
Scary
and then
Larry,
there's
yeah.
the Frog Lady.
The Fog Lady.
Frog Lady.
Although the Frog Lady sounds like a book I would write.
That was a typo.
I know,
That was
really.
a typo, huh?
Yep.
Then All Through the House. Mm-hmm. And Here
Yep.
Comes Santa. Now, how do you think you are typecast in the movies?
I'm not particularly typecast, but I do love portraying a certain character. Yes, I've worked with the director Todd Nunes for many years.
Oh, okay.
And he writes the most amazing characters for me. In fact, the character that he's written for me in our upcoming film goes against type.
Oh, that's
And
wonderful.
it is, oh gosh, oh, I can't wait to do this film. It's amazing.
I do want to call, you just said amazing there, but the way you said amazing before has some lilt and some what do they call those things? Oh shoot, they're not merry-go-rounds. It's the thing at the amusement park, the roller coaster.
Roller coasters. Oh.
Okay.
Well, I mean, All Through the House was, and actually Todd Nunes is one of the 3 directors that I absolutely trust. All Through the House is a Christmas-themed slasher film.
But you don't do this that often, though, do you?
I do it as often as I'm asked. Yes.
And do you prefer it to stage work?
Sometimes, yes.
Really?
Yes. In
Wow.
fact, I would go the movie route if it was offered me. Absolutely.
Okay. But you've not done any singing on film yet.
No.
What's wrong with them?
I don't know.
I know you admire him a lot because you've acted with him, but he is your director now.
Yep.
Andy Unger.
Yep.
Talk about how you met.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Do you remember?
I was called in to do a show, and he was sitting at the table, and we shook hands, and I met Randy Unger.
At a table read.
Yep, at a table read.
Okay, and you were both acting.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first time, and you've seen his work before?
I had not even, I had not, he was
But-
a complete stranger at the time.
But how many years ago was this?
This,
30?
the early 2000s, I think.
But he was renowned at that point in his life because he's been...
Yeah, he's been
acting
everywhere. Oh my gosh.
Right, and from a young age, and you talk about a man with a voice, there's a band called...
Yep, he can sing, absolutely.
But he started directing here about 7-8 years ago, and he's done over a dozen, I think approaching 15 plays,
Yep.
and you've been in...
And actually, he is the 3rd director,
For Codrillo.
who I have complete and utter
okay.
faith in.
So now we're talking about all of them.
Oh, yes, I've mentioned all 3 of them, yeah. And he is, I trust his humor. He'll ask me to do something that maybe I don't quite understand, and I'll do it, and it works. It's like, okay, just trust his eye.
Those are special people.
Yes,
And
yes.
There's a guy, a director and a writer at the Marsh in San Francisco who does the same thing, and it's hard because he'll ask you a question that's so detailed, and it's maybe like, what did the guy have for lunch on Tuesday? Huh?
What the? Yeah.
And next day you go, well, really, what he had for lunch on Tuesday determined what he was going to do right now. Or, in other words, it kicked in. He's very intuitive, is he not?
He's very intuitive. Oh, yes.
How is he in rehearsal when you're blocking?
Oh, he's extremely organic. He will have you do a scene. If something works, we'll keep it. If not, he'll tweak it. Of course, say if you're on the stage with someone amazing as, say, Jerry Motta, you just have to keep up.
We should interject here. Jerry is the Buster Keaton.
Yep, absolutely.
Local theater, and is coming up soon here in a month or two with the History of America script by the Reduced Shakespeare Company. He's one of the three, and he's definitely will be the one causing all the trouble.
Yep, he'll be. He will instigate. Absolutely. No, he's quite amazing to be with on stage, because you have to. Like I said, you have to keep up with Jerry because he knows exactly what he wants. He knows funny.
Yeah,
that man knows
absolutely
funny.
Correct.
And sometimes you can be a part of his funny. Sometimes you just have to stand back and let Jerry be funny. And it's magnificent no matter what.
It's his own personal Robin Williams.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, but I look forward to being on stage with him again because he is.
You were with him.
He's great.
in a video I have on my channel, 14, and
oh yes,
he's fastidious with his little moves.
Yep,
and
absolutely choreographed.
Have you ever bumped into him?
No, I don't think I've physically. Not on purpose. No.
No. I mean, in a scene where it's gotten so because. You do have to give a bull like that a little bit of room.
Yes.
And it's just straight comedy. It's just straight.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to do anything.
And more than that, he concentrates on you. I mean, when we were both in the production of Incorruptible a couple of years ago.
Oh, yes.
He was like the main character, and I was this little walk-on in the last 10 minutes. But still, we had a connection on stage. It was the eye contact, and we both trusted what we were both doing, and it worked beautifully.
Did Randy direct that as well?
Randy directed that, yeah.
And that was one of his earlier ones.
Yeah, really funny play.
Yeah. He's good. Randy is really good at comedy, but he is, and he hasn't done a musical yet, has he?
Oh,
directed it?
Oh, I would suppose he had.
We want to get him in this chair and ask him that question.
Yeah, because he was when this was first produced in 2006. He and I were the leads.
Oh, okay, all right.
And that's when we first got to seriously work together. In fact, there's one scene in here that is truly one of my favorite scenes. It's just the two characters on stage in a darkened parlor just having a conversation.
He's the Baron, or
he was Sir Joshua, yeah.
And it's one that I guess was done with two chairs off.
Yeah.
Over in the, yeah. Well, 4 times for one play is really something for a quadrille.
The first one in Walnut Creek. The second one was kind of this unofficial reading. Actually, Butterfield 8 produced it. Yet it got amazing audiences for this little staged reading. And then there was the first East Coast production in Maryland, which, that was so wonderful. Flying to Maryland to see this production.
Wow, and what theater was it?
That was at the Greenbelt Arts Center in Maryland. And
is there a production company associated with that space?
Yeah.
What was the company?
I think that was the home company,
okay.
The Greenbelt Arts Center. And then this one here in Martinez for On Stage.
And, and plays can be so orphaned. To have one that just has had 4 lifetimes is really quite something, isn't it?
Oh, I'm looking forward to the 5th.
Grad school.
I'm looking forward to the 5th and the 6th Yeah.
Well, are you looking? Are you writing? What's your next writing project? Is it a book or a play? And how do you choose?
I don't really choose it.
It chooses you.
It kind of chooses me. I tend to do too much. I mean, right now I'm writing at least 3 books, about 4 plays, and I hope to be directing, hopefully, directing another play of mine for on stage.
So and that's not writing, but that's certainly as much work.
Well, it's
more work.
It's writing and directing.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Oh, you write your own work. You direct your own work.
Oh yeah, this is another play of mine. Yeah.
And so I guess this question answers itself. You don't have. When was the last time you had writer's block?
Oh.
If you have projects going, you don't have writer's block, right?
I mean, yes, certainly. Well,
a project can be blocked, but not the writer.
I mean, there are times when you basically sit in front of the computer and go, I don't know what to do.
But that's in that project.
But there's never, I don't think I've ever had writer's block.
Yeah.